today this is happening. Yeah, these are all kind of bleached out. I have exactly 20 minutes before we have to go. Small, medium, large. Oh, risky. Reef cleaners did not have any of the larger trochus snails in stock. This little guy right here, sneak peek. Alright y'all, today this is happening. We're gonna scrape off this front portion. That's been an eyesore, right? And this is happening while this is also happening. Yeah? You okay? You gonna hold me? No! No, do not come up. I'm hoping to get it off cleaning. Nope. Whoa. Maybe? Okay, so there's a couple little pieces. These are just, oh my god, it's on there pretty good. Oh, there we go. I don't really know if there's a way to, oh god. I think I waited too long. This is on there really good. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to really discourage it from hitting the front glass and encrusting. Do I want to just break off the whole chunk? Yeah. Oh, I probably should just cut this and just trim. I need to cut this too. The tricky part is that it's not easy to get like a perfect cut like this, because usually when I do it may crack somewhere else. But I think it's time to address this guy right here. Monti Cap's supposed to be really easy to just kind of break off, but I guess I just gave it a little bit too much time to grow. All right, here we go. Let me see. This could be really good or really bad. Hopefully, oh, I think we're falling in the really good. Oh no, really bad. Really bad. I guess the red Monty can get all the light that it wants now. My goodness. Whole piece just kind of fell right off. So this piece came from the National Aquarium in Baltimore. God, I want to keep a little bit more, but that's okay. It is what it is. Part of the hobby. We kind of roll with it. We're gonna trim this piece off as well, just so that it's a little bit better kept. Like that. Huh, I bet you didn't know I have some kryptonite down there too, huh? I wanted to remove that piece too because it's starting to irritate or get in the way of the big clamp closing. I do need to clean this part up, and I suspect that as I start scraping it, I'm gonna break more. So I'm just gonna save maybe one piece of red Monty down there and just let it grow. I think most of these are coming out. We're just gonna go in with the bulldozer. Razor doesn't really work. Bulldoze this whole section. Oh, this is rough. There we go. Yeah, these are all kind of bleached out from being shaded. This portion I do want to keep. Maybe just scoot it in a little bit. All right, guys, just a quick, painful halfway point updates. These are all the ones I'm trying to save. Maybe make them do certain frags I can litter around the tank. This is the portion I got cleaned up. Man, it gets really tough to really scrape it clean once it started growing onto the glass. There's always like a really thin layer that you really got to go in and use some algae grease to get them off, but it's a pain in the butt. Don't be like me and wait till the end. These are the pieces that I chipped off, gonna be tossed out. This is simply just too short notice to be offering up for free, and these grow so fast for me anyway. So if anybody want any, I'll probably be able to make frags super quick anyways. All right, I'm having a tremendous amount of issue getting here with the razor blade. It just, because I have Euro bracing, and these are just a little bit too close, I couldn't scoot it. I just couldn't get here, versus here's, I can still get there, put some algae grease into it. So as a last ditch effort, I was like, okay, how about my flipper? A flipper, it has a metal blade, and turns out, wow, slow, it stayed close enough to the glass that it works. Dude, I'm so happy. I was like, there's no way I can get this off. Look at this. Slowly but surely, we are beating back that little remnants of Monti Cap that grew onto the glass. Thank you so much, flipper. There we go, it's catching. Yeah, so it looks like the blade sits close enough to the glass that I was able to lift it. I'm so glad, man. There's no way I could do this otherwise. Excellent. Now we run into a situation that I have one big piece of red Monty I don't know what to do with. I'll offer it up locally, see if anybody wants it. I'm probably gonna take this half moon piece and just mount it down there and let it grow. And this time we'll keep it a little bit further away from the front glass and address it a little bit sooner. Nina's obviously interested in it, but here is the end results. This is all the stuff that got pulled out from this little corner. Some of them got embedded into the sand bed. I didn't realize it grew that deep. We planted some underneath it where it's not going to block out the corals in terms of light. We reseeded some of these as well. One interesting thing is that this guy used this the TSA Death Spiral. It used to be one single color, but looks like we got some brown streak coming in. I'm not sure if it's taking on the coloration from this guy right here, but it's just super cool. The tank's gonna look like poop poop for about 2 months, I think, until these Monti get their shape. So check back with you guys later. Alright, this is another travel vlog. Today we're actually at a local event called Reefing USA. Pardon my voice, allergies kicking my butt. Let's check it out. TLS Aquatics. Sorry, I lost my voice, but these are some great selection here. Alright, just a really quick look around. The room is not big, but all the vendors are kind of packed in. And I have exactly 20 minutes before we have to go. Gotta bring my kids to school. So we're gonna just kind of pop into some of these pretty quickly. Oh, interesting, gemstone. One of my friends will be really into this. Oh, Leon would like those too. Megalodon too. Dude, I love seeing this. Look at this. Fiji yellow leather after all these times. They're back. Fiji corals. Excellent.
And then those are all the riffraff on the gold.
That's one of my target. I've been looking for that coral.
Oh, yeah,
I've been looking for that one.
I have it at the store, and everybody's like, "Why do you have this ugly stuff?" And I'll grab a handful of it.
White lights.
We walk into the dry goods area, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
That's right.
I'm like, "Yeah, when you're out diving, this is what catches your eye."
Yep.
It's like amazing.
Been looking for that one. So that's awesome. I would love to get the. Is it a candy apple or?
Yep, that's a candy apple.
Is that the only one you got, or you have? Looks like you got one more back there.
Yeah, there's one back
single
there,
polyp?
and that's a double polyp there with a baby on the side.
I'll do the double polyp.
Yep.
All right, that was a really fast and furious trip. Never got our show that quick, but we got to go to Kennedy School. Got two guys here. Look at this. Oh my lord! Wow. See how pink it is? Nicholas, this is for you. And here's the candy apple zoas that I've been hunting for a while. Awesome to see them all at the show. Local shows are great. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think this video's a lot of focus is on local swap. Today we have a local reefer that has been talking to for a while. He saw that I'm trading or giving away some of the frags that I have, namely the fuzzy finger leathers that from the mangrove tank, as well as the metallic green toadstool. As you can see in the back, I have 2 or 3 frags of those. They're just kind of waiting for their home. They've been just chilling here. So finally, it's time for one of these guys to go home. And these are like legit pieces of coral now. Like the top disc is roughly 3 inches already. Polyps growing a little bit longer and already got that Leon green look, so it'll be nice. All right, with my trusty Petco tong, let me scoot these guys out and let's see what the options are. So we got one here, we got one here, and I believe we have one more. Yep, though this one got like a green singulera attached to as well. All right, so between these two, even though this one's a little bit smaller, but this one I think it looks like Aiptasia got dripped on it. Maybe that's what it is. We'll give them a little time to heal. So let's do this one. This one's like nicely formed and polyp looks beautiful. Everything looks perfect. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, we're back, and he brought gifts. Right here we have a forest fire digitata, naturally grafted. We'll take a look at this. And also this is a semipora, I think. I may be butchering the name, but I just want to say it just so that I can remember. So these will be great. I think the Monti can probably live around this area for now. And this guy I gotta find a home for in the tank.
2 days later.
Oh, gonna be a rainy day in Maryland. Oh man, I'm losing my voice for some reason. But today I got 2 reefers I'm gonna meet up with. Then I'm gonna give some frags to. We have the finger lighter in a sump. I'm gonna cut off a chunk. And also we have a toadstool we're gonna give away. And also I gotta make a frag of the goldenrod. Holy crap, what is going on with my voice? Like I swallowed a frog. Here we go, corals outbounds. All of these are gonna be free or trades. kind of like the Reefers code. I'll be honest, initially when I first started, the term being thrown around Reefers code, I'm not a huge fan of it. It just sounds a little bit cringe for whatever reason, I don't know why. But recently it's been growing on me. I like the concept, the idea of going back to old ways of doing things where we rely more on trades. If it's selling corals, then it'll be a lot more affordable versus trying to boost up the price. So as a consumer, I do appreciate the concept of it. The term is I'm still trying to get used to it, but for now, until there's a better term comes along, I feel like Reefers code, okay, I can live with that. So we got these guys right here because these are not corals that are expensive per se. I just posted up saying that okay, these free for trade. Because these are not some higher end corals that's as expensive, I just posted up saying that, hey, you know what guys, these are available for trade or free for grab if you don't have anything, which is totally fine. So here we go. We got 3 folks coming over, got some corals ready to go, and it'll be good. Back to the good old days, right? Back to the good old days. Our jaws, morning after the swap, look at this. This is one of the green letter I got, I believe is a green Kenya tree. And over here are the 2 mushrooms that I got. One is I believe he said that's from SBB coral. It's a green mushroom, and over here it's I believe Iron Man. Beautiful, beautiful corals. Again, I basically just put up some of the Montes, put up the finger letters, and also put up the metallic green toadstool, which I still have some in the back. Just be like, hey, available locally. If you have something to trade, great. If not, free. Just come by, pick it up. And people swung by, and I got some of these corals in return, and these will make excellent addition, especially this one. This one's beautiful. Can't wait to add this to the mangrove tank. I think I'm gonna turn that into LPS softy tank. And these mushrooms, the green one looks kind of similar to that one, except this one has some texture on the oral disc, which is kind of cool. This anemone. Same thing with this guy. You see that I lost some of the jawbreaker mushroom. For whatever reason, they just kind of like shrunk. I suspect maybe chemical warfare or something. So in the process of slowly kind of reintroducing them, see how they do. So this Iron Man will be a nice test actually. Like certain Discosoma seems to do really well in this tank, and different variety just seems to kind of waste away over time. First I lost the OG Bounce a while back, and then I lost the jawbreakers. It's really, really strange. Anyways, I hope these do well. These seems to be opening up really good, so crossing my fingers. Absolutely glorious day in Maryland, and in my hand I got a little box from Algae Farm. Not sponsored. After much deliberation, I have decided to choose this particular animals to take care of the Aiptasia in this tank, and that is the Peppermint Shrimp. Let me really quickly share my thought process going to this, because in my previous video I mentioned wanting to use Bergia nudibranchs to control the Aiptasias. That is before I started really rolling up my sleeves and started using Aiptasia and just pulling out all the rocks, well not all the rocks, but mainly the feeding tube and the wall. So for the most part, they are relatively clean. It's the Aiptasias that's kind of among the corals or like really embedded in the backside of rock that I could not really get to with either razor blades, a screwdriver, or Aiptasia. So there's really not that many Aiptasias remaining compared to before. Before it was like covered. My whole tank is like an Aiptasia farm. As you know, the Bergia nudibranchs, all they eat is Aiptasias. When the Aiptasia is gone, they basically starve, and that's it. That doesn't really sit too well with me. My hope is that once they finish Aiptasia, I can fish them out and kind of pass them on to the next reefer local that could use them. But seeing how the Aiptasia is, I'll probably knock back about 50%. I'm sure there's like 50% I'm not seeing. That's still in the tank. Seeing how I knocked a decent portion of them back, I want something a little bit more sustainable so that once Aiptasia is gone, which may be really quickly, they do not starve. So in the previous videos comments, a lot of you guys recommended Peppermint Shrimp. Peppermint Shrimp for me in the past has been hit or miss, most likely miss simply because I had a Ross here that hunt shrimps had, because I did rehome the Minenaris wrasse, if you see in the last video. It went to a really good home at a school. So I have this little window where I do not have a shrimp predator in the tank. So I thought maybe I'll give Peppermint Shrimp one more try, especially because now Algae Barn actually sell the specific type of peppermint shrimp that eats Aiptasia. Once again, this is not sponsored, pay my own money for it. They do not know that I'm ordering. It's just that they receive really good reviews in terms of the peppermint shrimp that they sell, and they list out the actual species that I will be getting. That should
target specifically the Aiptasias, because as you know, there are many different species of peppermint shrimp. They all go under the common name, but some of them do not even eat Aiptasias, and some of them really attack corals as well. This one's supposed to be a lot better in terms of going after corals, other anemones, fingers crossed, and really only going after Aiptasias. We will see. In the comments, I heard that the peppermint shrimp that they receive are typically a little bit smaller, which is my preference as well, because I feel like if the shrimp gets to a certain size, they may start competing with corals for food. For example, in the past, I've had peppermint shrimp this big, and when I feed the corals food, whether it's like mysis shrimp or whatever food that I feed, they will actually go in and dig the food out from the coral's mouth, and that is no Brunos. Pardon the mess. Here are the 3 jars of 3 peppermint shrimp each. I want to go over size real quick, simply because in the review, a lot of people are saying that the shrimps are really small. So looking at this, it looks like they shipped a variety of. So once again, before I go in, this is not sponsored. I did not mention Inappropriate Reefer anywhere. This is like straight up blind order. I have never dealt with them before. Don't think we really chatted before. Maybe many years ago. But basically this is just a random dude ordering things from their websites. And I did the 2-day shipment, free shipping. And one of the comments, well, some of the comments mentioned that the shrimps arrived really small and fish may snack on them. So that's one of my worry. But look at this. I kind of organized them by small, medium, large. And they put similar sized shrimp in their respective jar. So these guys right here, I got this TSA Frag Rollout contest. Kind of, this is kind of my trophy. I have a little ruler here that I can use. These are the smallest size shrimp that was sent, roughly 1 inch. These guys are small, okay, 1 inch. But these may be good for nano or just tanks without a lot of predators. So this is roughly 1 inch. And this one has the medium sized shrimp. Let me see if I can get it in focus. I'll say is roughly 1.5 inches. You can see the smaller one is almost clear. This one, the red is a little bit more prominent, maybe 1.25 inches actually. And then right here, these are the big guys. Here's one of the big guys. These are roughly 1.5 inches, but the difference is that they're really bulky and the color is much darker. So to me, this looks like a fully grown one. This is kind of like maybe like a teenager. It is. I wouldn't call them a baby, but maybe toddler. So 3 of each. 3 of each, and they do kind of pack them in separate jar, which is much appreciated. Once again, I really like the fact that they have macroalgae in here, so it's kind of like a little, not really ecosystem, but it feels like it makes me feel better. Versus sometimes people ship them in just bare bag, they slide around, which is not that cool. So this is really nice. Good first impression. The bigger of the shrimps are acclimated, ready to go. Let me go ahead and drop these. I probably should do it at night, but no rats here, so I'm just gonna release them into the Acroporas. Hopefully they'll be alright and they'll get to work. Okay. Alright, there's one. Oh, that's risky. That's a risky go. Fishes will just snap it up. I do have Bengal cardinals in this tank. Those are shrimp eater, but I think the peppermint should be a little bit large for them to eat. Look at this guy. Alright, go. Nice. So I just darted into the rock. So we should have one more. Come on, buddy. Oh, risky. Dude just swam right out. Alright, good thing all the fish kind of freaked out by me and just all hiding. Otherwise, just snapped them in mid-water. That was not a smart way to release shrimp. But mission accomplished. The red mackerel, we'll just drop it in the refugium. Although red mackerel, in my experience, not the biggest fan of red light. So the other 2 mackerel, I'll probably just bring it upstairs to the mangrove tank where the light is a little bluer, and it has red mackerel already, so it's growing well.
1 week later.
Whoa, what's this? 2 box opening in one video? That is right, 2 box, 1 reefer. Every year or two, I find the need to kind of buy some additional cleanup crew for my reef tanks to kind of replace all the snails that may have not made it. Well, let's see here. In the past, I've always gone with reef cleaners. Once again, not sponsored, mainly for their awesome pricing. What's interesting immediately is that they did not use a styrofoam box. They just used like a paper box and one of these guys. And the heat packs do a little bit warm. I was a little bit concerned because some of their cleanup crew members can be shipped using priority shipping with USPS, which means 2 days. This shipment actually got delayed. So the acclimation process is pretty interesting as well. I was used to drip acclimation, but these days a lot of people are saying no, don't do drip acclimation, especially if you have a shipment that was in transit for multiple days. Usually like overnight, maybe drip acclimate, but especially in my case, it was in shipment for 3 days, 1 extra day. So what they recommend doing is actually float all the bags for about 15 minutes to temperature acclimates, and then just go ahead and release the animals into the tank. And the reason they don't recommend drip acclimation at all is because when the animals are in transit, they will eliminate waste into the bag, creating ammonia. Now, while the ammonia is in the bag, because the pH also keeps slowly dropping, it's kind of in the safe zone. But as soon as you open the bag and the outside air, which has a higher pH than the water pH because it has been dropping, as soon as they interact, the ammonia is actually going to start spiking and climb to a dangerous level for all these inverts. And this is especially true for animals that has been in shipments for multiple days. Again, this may not be as huge a deal for animals that has been overnight because it's not as much ammonia locked up in the water. But because these animals has been in transit for 3 days, there's probably healthy amounts of ammonia in there. So that's why we're gonna follow the instruction to a T. We're gonna float the bag for 15 minutes, maybe even a little bit longer, to kind of acclimate the temperature. And then we are just gonna pop and drop. We're gonna pluck them out and just pop them into the tank. Most of them is going to go into the 135 display as well as the sump, with a few going into mangrove tank as well. Okay, so this is the amount of snails that I've picked up for the 145-gallon tank as well as the 17-gallon mangrove tank upstairs. I think this is a sensible amount. If I need more, I can always get more. I don't want to put in a whole bunch and then they end up starving because there's not enough food once they finish beating back the initial bloom. So let's really quickly go over what I got. Personally, if you ask me my favorite snail, it'd be trochus snails. However, for this round, Reef Cleaners did not have any of the larger trochus snails in stock. They only have these smaller morphs, so I went ahead and picked up a few. Only a few because trochus snails has really gone up in price. I think they're all the way up to like $4 per pop. Back then it was like $2, but things are different now. So instead of going at all trochus crew, I kind of spread it out a little bit. My second favorite snails are the Mexican turbo or Indo turbos. I feel like there's not a huge amount of difference. In fact, I'm not even 100% sure which one is an Indo and which one is a Mexican now that I kind of unpacked them all together. But the turbo snails in general is a really good algae eater, mainly due to the size. It's kind of budos, especially with hair algae. I find them to be super effective in my past experience. So I plan to have 3 of these guys in the 135 and 2 of these in the 17-gallon, simply because 17-gallon has a bit of a hair algae issue. Continue with the snails, I also got some stables like Asterina snails. They don't last super long, but I do have a few stragglers that have lasted years, right? But for the most part, they don't last too long. And also I got, I believe this is called the cow tongue or ox tongue Nerits. I've never had it. I was just really curious, so I ordered a few to see. Also got a few of the Margarita snails. I'm not a huge fan of them because I read that they may prefer lower temperature, so they don't last as long in the tropical tank because the metabolism will be faster, so I only got a few. I also have some Sarah snails. I am a fan of the Sarah snails, regardless of what type. I haven't ordered 2 types. This, I believe, is the Florida, and I think I may have the really small Cortez C ones. That's a black one, smooth shell. And these type of really tiny ones that Reef Cleaner recommends a lot. They really push this type simply because they can really go under the rock as well. Just go to the website, take a look. They have pretty good write-ups for each of these kind of clean crews, and they're really cheap. They're like 20 cents each, so I just got a bunch. I think I got 40. Can't really tell, right? And to round things off, we do have a few bumblebee snails to take care of vermented snails. I do have some bumblebee snails in the 135 already. I usually go a little bit light on bumblebee simply because they may prey on other snails. And here we have the sand tiger snails. I think they go by different names like strawberry snails and stuff on different sites. But sand tiger snails, I do have one in the 135. It does do a pretty decent job keeping the sandbag clean, but I feel like it's getting overworked these days because I still see patches now. So I think it needs some help. So I may do one edition on the 145 and one in the 17. And if the one in the 17 seems to just polish off the sandbed and has nothing to eat, then I'll move that one to the 145 as well. So that kind of rounds out the snails recharge per se. So this kind of rounds out the cleanup crew recharge for both tanks. I'm going ahead and drop these snails off now. Now I know like if you do things properly, what you want to do is also quarantine the cleanup crew, because I have no personal experience, but I have read that certain things like icks or certain pathogens or bad things will basically piggyback ride on the snail shell to go into your system, which that makes sense. That makes sense to me. However, I do not have an extra system to set up to quarantine all the cleanup crew, because you also have to feed the cleanup crew during the whole process and to kind of wait things out. So this is kind of like a calculated risk. So this is more like a calculated risk of just adding the snails right into the tank, which I think most reefers do anyways. But if you really want to do things properly, I just want to let you know that there are people out there who are more appropriate than me that set up quarantine for a cleanup crew as well, because bad things could hitchhike from snail shells.
3 days later.
And to cap it off, let's take a quick look on the cleanup crew edition for the 135 tank. It looks like for the most part everything else is okay except for the Aiptasia snails as well as the small trochus snails. In terms of actual impact, it's kind of hard to see. I guess in a week or two we'll see if there's a buildup of algae on the glass and we'll go from there. But it's kind of cool to see we have like dwarf cereus that's already climbing the glass and make it all the way up there. Okay, we're gonna wrap the video up here. There's a little bit more I want to talk about, including this little guy right here, sneak peek, but that's for another video. I also have this crazy idea of kind of digging into the aquascape a little bit more, including potentially, if these zoas are not doing well for me, I'll remove this whole arch here, so the whole tank will just be in the back. Mid-ground and background will all be these SPS. In the foreground, I may have some large clams or maybe move the conches back to the front to bring some color and movement to the front. I don't know. Work in progress. Either way, I'm going to bring you guys along with the journey, whether you like it or not, because this tank is not just mine. It's also you as well. You've been here all along the way to see from its inception to this point, and I value your comments, your feedback, and your attention. So with that said, I'll see you guys next video.